Hi everyone. Today we are going to solve a LRDI set. This set came in CAT 2019 slot 2. Uh, this is a bit lengthy set, but very interesting one. And students may get confused this set with a games and tournament set, but basically this is not a games and tournament set. A set based upon missing data as well as a pinch of Sudoku, right? So let's try to solve this set. So the set reads as there are 10 players listed in the table below participating in a rifle shooting competition comprising of 10 rounds. So there are 10 rounds in this competition and each round has 6 participants. You can see that there are 10 players who are participating in this tournament, but in each round, only 6 participants are participating. That means rest 4 are not participating in that particular round, right? Players number 1 to 6 participated in round 1, player number 2 to 7 in round 2. Okay, that means what? Player number in round 1, player number 1 to 6 has participated. That means player number 7, 8, 9 and 10 not participated. Similarly, in round 2, player number 2 through 7 has participated. That means player number 1, player number 8, player number 9 and 10 have not participated in round 2, and so on and so forth. If you see the table, the first column is for the player number, the second table is for the player name, the third column is again a very important table which shows the total points obtained by these players in the first 6 rounds. That means round 1 plus the total points in round 1 plus round 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and 6. Similarly, if you see the last column, this is the sum of points for all the rounds. That means from round 1 to round 10. Now, some more information is given. So there are the top 3 performances in each round was awarded 7, 3, and 1 points. Okay, that means the topper will get 7 marks. The second or the runner-up will get 3 points, and the second runner-up will get 1 points respectively. And there is no type. Again, a very important line which will be used in table making, right? So there is no tie in any of the 10 rounds. The table below gives the total number of points obtained by the 10 players after round 6 and round 10, which you already have dealt with. Right. Some more information regarding round 1 to round 6 is given. 2 information from round 1 to round 6, and similarly some more information, information number 1, 2 and 3, statement number 1, 2 and 3 for the round 7 to 10. Let's quickly look at the questions. Question number 1 says, what were the scores of Jane, David, and Eric respectively? Straightforward question. Which 3 players were in the last 3 positions after round 4? Again, easy one. Which player scored the maximum number of rounds? Scored in the maximum number of rounds, and lastly, which player scored points in the last round? So basically, pretty much all the 4 questions are pretty much straightforward questions. So once we are able to fill the set, or able to fill the table entirely for all these rounds, you'll be able to correctly mark the questions. Okay, now let's try to solve, or let's try to fill the table. So I already have made the table for this. The first table is the first column is the player name and player number and the name, and round 1 to 6, and the total is the total points obtained by the players after round 6. Okay, and the similarly second is the total this is the total after round 1 to round 10. Now, if you go for the first table, you see that A scored 8 points in the first 6 rounds, B scored 2, C scored 3, and so on and so forth. Now, read the first data or the first paragraph of this set, which is about which player is participating in which round, right? So it says the player number 1 to 6 participated in round 1, player number 2 through 7 in round 2, and so on and so forth. So what we can do is player number 1 to 6 participated in round 1. That means what? Player number 7, 8, 9 and 10 have not participated in the first round. Similarly, player number 2 to 7 has participated in round 2. That means player number 1, player number 8, 9 and 10 have not participated in this round. Similarly, if you'll fill this, then you will get a beautiful pattern. And if you have observed the pattern, this will be like in the next third round, player number 1 and player number 2 will not participate. Player number 9 and 10 will also not participate. Similarly, in round 4, player number 1, 2, and 3 will not participate. Here, player number 10 will not participate. Next, player number 1, 2, 3, and 4 will not participate. Rest everyone will participate. And finally, in round 6, player number 2, 3, 4, and 5 will not participate. Rest everyone will participate. Now, since we know all the numbers, like all the top 3 performer will got 7, 3, and 1 points only, which is already mentioned in the. So you can say that these are the only 3 numbers, including a 0, that can be filled in our table, right? Now, since we know that any number except 7, 3, and 1 and 0 is not going to come in our table, this is pretty much straightforward. I can say a bit tricky and a bit tricky but manageable table to be filled, right? Now look at this. I can start with the easier one, right? For example, J has scored 14, and we have to only 2 boxes or 2 cells for the J. So I can say this is 14 can be written. Now since we know that we can use only 1, 3, and 7, so 14 can be written in this as the sum of 7 and 7 only, right? So I can definitely say this can be 7 and 7. If you remember, there was a very important line which is given here. There was no tie in any of the 10 rounds, which means what? None of the players none of the points will be repeated in a particular round. So for example, if I'm saying that J has scored 7 marks or 7 points in round 6, so no other player will be scoring 0.7 in the round 6. Similarly, J also have scored 7 points in round 5, so no other player will participate, or all will score 0.7 or 7 points in round 5. Similarly, now look at this. B has scored 2 points. Now 2.2 can be written as the sum of 1 and 1, and only 2 cells are there, so I can fill it 1 and 1. Now 8 can be written as the sum of 1 and 7. Since 1 is already in the round 1, I cannot put 1 here. So this will be 7 and this will be 1. This will be 1 only since there were only 2 boxes. Now coming to H. H is, now if we'll read the statement, some of the information is also given about round 1 to round 6. Read the statement number 1. G did not score consecutive in any 2 round. He has not scored in any 2 consecutive round. That means what? G के लिए we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And to get 17, we need to have 7, 7, and 3, which means he has to score in three rounds. And he has not scored in any consecutive rounds. So that means what? He has to score at this, and this. Right now, if you have observed this, now I can say he has scored in the 2nd round, 4th round, and 7th and 6th round, and he has not scored in the round 3. So this will be 0, and this will also be 0. Right now, I'm left with 7, 7, 3. Now I also know that J has scored 7 in round 6. So G cannot score 7 points in round 6. That is why this is going to be 3. And if this is 3, this is going to be 7. And this will also be 7. Now, if you can observe, now round 6 have all 3 numbers, 1, 3, and 7. So no other number is able to, no other number will be allowed to enter. So this will be 0, this will be 0, and this will be 0. So I'm completely done with the round 6. Now, going further, if you'll see, now, so also we can see, also observe that round one we are done with one, round two one is already done. So every round will have only 1, 3, and 7. And the same also, these numbers cannot be repeated because if they will be repeated, there will be tie. And secondly, no, only 3 numbers are allowed in our table, right? So 1, 3, 1 and 7 is done in round one. 1 is also done in round two. Round three, no one. Round four, no one. And five is one is missing, right? Now, so we are completely done with A, I think, yes. And we are done with B also. Nice. Now we are done with G. We are done with J. Right. Now look at I. I has scored only 2 points, and there are only cells. So straight away I can say this is going to be 1 and 1. Now look, check once. R6 has 1. R5 has 1. R4 is have also 1. Okay. Only R3 doesn't have 1, and H has scored 1. So straight away, this is going to be 1, and rest will be, this will be 0 and 0. So we are also done with H, and we are done with I. Now we have, if we see, now we have round 7 in round 1, 7 in round 2, 7. Do we have 7 in round 3? No, as of now, no. Do we have, yes, round 4, 7. Now we have round 5, 7, and round 6 is 7. So only 7, which is remaining. Now if may we have a 10. 10 can be written as 7 plus 3. Now if you'll see, so round 1 have 7, round 2 have 7, round 3 doesn't have 7, and this is where this 7 is going to take place. So this has to be 7, and if this is 7, so only 3 is remaining. Now, if you'll see, 1, 3 is here, 1, 3 is here, 1, 3 is here, and 2 3s are there. Now, let's check for all the 3 which is missing in our table. So, round 1, we do not have 3. Round 2, we don't have 3. Round 3, nahi hai. Round 4, nahi hai. And round 5 bhi nahi hai. So, first 5 rounds are missing, and we have only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 3, which is available for these, these blank cells. Now, read the second statement, which is given for the round 1 to round 6. It says, Eric and Fatima both scored in a round, which means Eric and Fatima both have scored in a single round. Okay, so if you see, Eric has scored only 3, which can be only filled with 3. That means what? This 3 has to come here only. Right. Otherwise, if you put in any of the other cells, then this will be this statement will contradict, because Eric and Fatima has to score in the same round, right? That means what? I'm done with E also. This is also done. So this will be 0, 0, 0, 0. This all will be 0. Now you can say, now we have 2 3s, and here we have 1 3, right? Now, also, if you'll see, now I'm done with 3. We do not have to put any 3 in round 6. We can put round 5, 3 in round 5. We can put round 3 in round 2, and not in round 1. Do we have? Yes. So this is going to be 0, and this is also going to be 0, because round 3 we are done with all 3 and all 3, 1, and 7. Similarly, R4 we do not have any 3. Now, okay. Now let's put the other 3. Since we know that this 3 and or this 3 can be, I can write it, this will be 0 or 3, this will be 3 or 0. Now, we also know that if you see, look at this, I know if this is 3, if this is 0, this is going to be 3, or if this is 0, this is going to be 3. Oh, sorry, if this is 0, if this is 3, this is going to be 0. Similarly, if this is going to be 3 and 0. That means what? I can say out of the 2 3s in 4D, one of the 3 is going to be this, and one will be 0. So the other 3 has to be here only. And why I'm saying this? Because if you'll see, C has 1 3, which can be put only in this or this cell, or round 1 or round 2. And if this is round 1, round 2, so D has to be round 2 or round 1. So particularly or uniquely, we cannot say as of now, but we know one of the 3 out of 2 3s for D will be either in round 1 or round 2, and the last one will be in the round 4. Now I can say round 4 we are done with all the 3, 7, and 1. So this will be 0. Now I can say either of these two will be zero. Now for sure I can say now this R1 will be zero if this is zero. So this will be three and this will be three or zero and so on and so forth. So similarly, now I can also say this is going to be zero and this will be zero and this has to be in that case this has to be three. This is how we are done with the first table, which is for the round 1 to round 6. I think this is pretty much clear to everyone. Now, let's try to solve the second cell or second table for this set. Now we have the total of round 1 to round 10, which is 18. So now, but the second table is for the round 7 to round 10. So we'll find the total of round 7 to round 10. So 1 to 10 is 18, 1 to 6 is 8. So this is going to be 10, 18 minus 8. So this is 5 minus 2 is 3. This is 6 minus 3 is 3. This is 6 minus 6, 0. And this is 10 minus 3 is 7. This is 10 minus 10, 0. 17 minus 17 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. 17 minus 2 is this is 15. And this is 17 minus 14. And this is a 3. Now, we also know that this pattern will continue. This pattern will continue, right? So the player number 3, 4, 5, and 6 will not participate. Similarly, 4, 5, 6, 7 will not participate. 5, 6, 7, 8 will not participate. And lastly, I can say player number 6, 7, 8, and 9 will not participate. Right? Again, I can say my table will be filled by 7, 3, and 1 only. So for that case, can I say this will be 6 can be or 3 can be done in 1, 1, 1 or 3, right? But if you'll see, this E, if you'll see this, so first R7, R8, and R9 cannot be filled. So if this is 7, so this will straight away go with 7, right? Similarly, if you'll say this is 10 and this is 15. 15 can be written as 7, 7, and 1, right? Also, we can also say this 3 we do not have now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cells for this 3. Now, if you see this is 0, right? This is 0, so this will be 0 and this will also be 0. Now, this is 0, so this is also going to be 0. Since this is 3, 2 boxes needs to be filled. Now, if you see, now I can say that now read the sum of the information which is given in the for the round number 7 to 10. First is only 2 players scored in the 3 consecutive rounds. One of them was Chen. Chen has scored in 3 consecutive rounds. Chen has scored in 3 consecutive rounds. So that means that cannot be 3-0-0, yeah, 0-3-0 or 0-0-3. That has to be 1-1-1 only, right? So this is 1 because he has scored in 3 consecutive rounds. So this has to be 1-1-1, right? Now, other players scored no other player scored in any 2 consecutive rounds. Okay, so no other player has scored in the any 2 consecutive rounds. That means what if we say this is okay. Now, sorry, players scored in the only 2 players scored in 2 consecutive rounds. One of them is changed. So one more player is there who has scored in consecutive round in 2 consecutive no player has in 3 consecutive round. I'm so sorry. So only 2 players scored in 3 consecutive round. Only 2. That means that the chain has scored in 3 consecutive rounds and there is only one player, and that player has to be I. Look at this I. So now I can say he has to score 7, 7, and 1. Now look at R8. R8 has 1, so this cannot be 1. R9 is 1. R9 has 1, so this cannot be 1. R10 already cannot be 1 because he has not played. That means what? This has to be 1, and this is 7, and this is 7. Since already R8 and R9 has 1, so R8 and 9 cannot have 1, so R7 has to get 1, right? Similarly, now if you see R1, R7, sorry, R8, R9, and R10, all these have 1. Now all the ones are exhausted. Now we cannot put 1. Now, next statement, no other player scored in any 2 consecutive. No other player scored in any two consecutive round. Okay, now Josin scored in round 7. Josin, J stayed, in J in round 7. he scored in round 7. That means what? He has scored in only in round 7. So this has to be 3. This is 0. This is 0. This is also 0. He scored in round 7, while Amita, which is A, is scored in round 10. Amita is scored in round 10. So this 10 can only be with 7 and 3. Now if we'll say round 10 has a 7, so this has to be 3. Now 1 7 is missing for Amita. Now, no player scored in all the 4 rounds. No player has scored in all the 4 rounds. Now, if you see, now we have 1 3. Now this has to be, now we have, since we have 3 here, so this will be 0. In round 7 we have already a 3, so this will be 0. Now in that case H will have 3 here. Now round 7 has 3, round 8 has 3, round 7 doesn't have any 3 as of now, right? So this will be 3 for sure. This is 3. Now this will be 0 then. This will be, now we have 7 3 and 1. This will be 0. Now we also have 1 3 and this will be 0. So 7 has to be in this, and this will be, these two will be 0. This is how we can complete our table. A bit lengthy for sure, but a very interesting one, very interesting table, and very interesting set, by the way, which can easily be done in 14-15 minutes for sure. Now, let's solve the questions related to this set. Question number 1. What were the scores of Jane, David, and Eric, C, D, and E, respectively, after 3 rounds? Okay, so after 3 rounds, round 1, round 2, and round 3. Okay, let's check. Round 1, 2, 3. Jane, Eric, and David. Jane is 3. Okay, 3. David is also 3, and Eric is also 3. So the answer will be 3, 3, 3. Answer will be 3, 3, 3. Okay, so answer is C is the correct answer. Which 3 players, question number 2, which 3 players were in the last 3 position after round 4? Okay, look at, let's for the round 4. Round 4 we have 0, and we have 0. That means what? E, F, and H. E, F, and H. E, F, and H. So we just one sec. Let me read the question again. Position after round 4. Okay, so which 3 players were in the last? Okay, now let's check for the options. In the last 3 position in the round 4. Okay, so after round 4, A has 7, B has 2, C has 3, D has 3. This will be 0. E has a 3, 4 has a 7, G has a 1 2 3 4 14, H has 1, I has 1, and J. Okay, so the answer will be H, I, and J. H, I, and J will be the answer. H, I, and J. H, I, and J. So answer will H, I, and J. Answer will be 1. Third, which player scored a point in the maximum number of rounds? Okay, so let's check for the options. Josin has scored in how many? J scored in how many? So he has scored in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so he, okay, 1, 2, and 3, only 3. Okay, let's check for, so Josin has scored in 3 rounds. Chain, C, let's check for C. C has scored in 1 round, and then 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. So he has scored in 4 rounds. Okay, so this is not your answer. I, let's check for I. I scored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I scored in 5 rounds. Okay, so this is 5. And let's check for the lastly, Amita will check for A. A scored in 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 4 round. Okay, so for sure now I can say the IIM-CAT will be the correct answer. So this is 4 only. So I is the correct answer. Now, which player scored points in the last round? Which player scored points in the last round? Last round we have round 10. So A, C, A, C, and E. A, C, and E. A, C, and E. A, C, and A, C, and E. Amita, Chen, and Eric. D is the correct answer. 4th is the correct answer. Pretty doable set. A bit lengthy since we need to fill 2 tables, but doable one. Thank you so much.